So it's been a crazy day for the gaming industry, especially with that Zynga and Take-Two Interactive deal. So today's episode, I want to take a quick look at three things. First, just the overall concept of the deal. Two, what are the future growth potentials with Take-Two Interactive taking Zynga? And three, what are my overall thoughts of this deal and some concerns that I may have, because there are some concerns. If this is your first time here, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, check out the pinned comment for free Discord, free newsletter, and a lot of great investing links, so make sure to check that out. Usually the stock price Usually the company that is getting purchased sees a nice hike in price because more or less they're getting bought out for a premium, and that is the case. We can see Zynga today ended the day closing 40% higher. That is insane. Congratulations to all investors. Now if we take a quick look at Take-Two Interactive, it's usually the opposite. The company doing the acquisition usually takes a hit, closing 13% down from its openings, and this happens for numerous reasons. One, it could be obviously the company is kind of overpaying for the first company, so investors are not too excited. Two, there might be some form of share dilutions that are going to happen that investors might not like. Three, there can also be an increase of debt due to this company maybe taking out new forms of loans or new form of financial products to be able to pay for the acquisition. So there are numerous reasons why stock price for the company doing the acquisition goes down. And if we just now, let's take a quick look at the deal. And this is what's very important. So the deal right now entitled Zynga stockholders will receive $3.5 in cash and about $6.36 in shares of Take-Two common stock for each share of Zynga common stock outstanding at the closing. So right now, the overall transaction is valued at $9.86. So you might be like, Jose, it's valued at $9.86. Stock price is sitting at $8.44. So there is still a lot of room for this company to grow in form of stock price. The answer is not so easily yes, right? You shouldn't just look at the value. Remember, there was a one here, kind of a head note. And if we take a quick look at the note, this is within a 7.5 symmetrical collar based on a Take-Two share price of $169 at the midpoint. So obviously when they were looking at this $9.86, it was at a higher price point for Take-Two Interactive. Like I mentioned, this stock has taken quite a hit. It's down over $21 after this news. So for that reason, Zynga's stock price hasn't really hit that kind of valuation that it was shown in the overall press release. And if Take-Two's Interactive stock price continues to drop, obviously you will see a price in Zynga's stock price, because most of this kind of valuation or acquisition is driven by a nice amount of shares getting taken from Take-Two Interactive. Obviously, it's the inverse. If we see a growth in Take-Two Interactive stock price, we are going to see a growth in Zynga's stock price. So these two are going to trade very, very similar to each other until the acquisition closes. And this transaction is expected to close by the end of June 30th of 2022. But before we begin, let's take a listen to today's sponsor. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You guys know I love finding new investing tools and resources to help me scout out new growth stocks. And right now I have a discount for one of my favorite services the Fool offers. Through the Motley Fool Stock Advisor services, you get access to a ton of expert stock picks. Every month you'll get 2 new picks that are aimed at growing your wealth and to help you realize your financial goals. Stock Advisor's average stock picks have done amazing returns. If growing your money is something you'd like to do more of this year, you can visit fool.com/Jose Najarro or click on the link below for access to my special offer and decide if the Stock Advisor is right for you. Thanks again to the Motley Fool, and now onto today's video. All right, so now that we understand the deal, I want to talk a little bit more about the future growth. And there is a lot of potential for this company. First, this with Take-Two Interactive taking Zynga, is going to significantly diversify their business into a leader in the mobile market. And they shared one important kind of metric here. Take-Two's Interactive fiscal year of 2022 mobile net bookings were roughly 12%. After this kind of acquisition from Zynga, they expect mobile to comprise over 50% of net bookings. And that is very important, right? Because the mobile industry is one that's continuing to grow. Management also shared that looking ahead, the combined company is expected to deliver a 14% compounded annual growth rate for net bookings over the 3-year period from Take-Two's fiscal years of 2021 through 2024. I do want to say this kind of is a bit misleading to some extent, right? Because people are looking at 2021 through 2024. But this upcoming June will already start the fiscal 2023 for Take-Two Interactive. All right, so I do not own any shares of Zynga or Take-Two Interactive, but they do mention a lot of their potential growth, and this gets me really excited. So I believe it's good news, especially for Take-Two Interactive. I believe if you're a Zynga holder to this moment, once you kind of get near that price point, if you don't want to deal with this company, it might make sense to kind of sell off because there's not much potential growth from there. But if you believe that these two companies can do well in the future, and I personally do, there's much more growth potential outside of just this current increase in price target. For example, they believe that Take-Two has also identified over 500 million of incremental annual net booking opportunities to unlock over time. And one of the major things is, for those that are not familiar, Take-Two Interactive is a huge leader in the PC games and in the console markets, right? Games like Grand Theft Auto, games like 2K 2022, but they are not super strong in the mobile market. So now with this huge team of mobile developers, Zynga has nearly 3,000 employees, including numerous mobile developers. So now they can take Take-Two's interactive franchises and move them into the mobile market that can produce a strong amount of revenue and future growth for the company. Obviously, Zynga also has other platforms. They recently purchased Chart Boost, which is kind of an advertising platform. This will help out Take-Two Interactive enter in some other markets. Also, the overall growth in geographic expansion in growth markets across Asia, India, and the Middle East. And finally, the enhanced focus on technological innovations and new business models. And I believe this is probably one of my concerns here. So if you guys have been following Zynga, one of the things that they have shown to focus on is some form of blockchain gaming. They, for example, in December 2021, they partner up to overall increase the opportunities for players in blockchain gaming. We can see in November 8th, they also hired the Vice President, Matt Wolf, as the Vice President of blockchain gaming. So this is a market that Zynga was really focusing on. Take-Two Interactive and their CEOs have not really focused too much on discussing their future plans of kind of blockchain gaming, of kind of digital assets to some extent. So I want to see how both managements kind of deal with this future growth potential. All right, so next I want to talk a little bit about the overall leadership change, or what's going to happen with leadership. So Strauss, the current CEO of Zynga, will maintain to be the CEO of the Zynga division, but he will also work as the management team to take lead of Take-Two's Interactive mobile department, which I think is a great move, right? Because if Take-Two Interactive is trying to move more into the mobile market, it's better to have it under a leadership that has already kind of grown that market, and that would be Zynga CEO. All right, so now just a quick recap on my overall thoughts. I do believe this will improve Take-Two's interactive future growth. I believe their kind of move into the mobile market will be a great thing for the overall company. This kind of form, the cost in stock price, could be some form of maybe buying opportunity, dollar cost average, if one wants to enter in the gaming market. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good night, and see you next time.